Hi, I'm Chef Raphael. Today's recipe is all about chocolate banana bread. Now it's a wonderful cake. Can also call it bread because it's actually in this shape of a loaf, but it's soft on the inside, and especially when it's fresh from the oven, it's hard and crusty on the outside. It's very delicious. You can enjoy it with tea or even plain if you like. It has also a nice, wonderful banana taste, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Let's get started. So if you're new to the show, this is a baking show that is meant to make you a better home baker. And for the ingredients, I'll start with the dry ingredients. So we have 30 grams of cocoa powder, 200 grams of sugar, 230 grams of all-purpose flour, a quarter of a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. For the wet ingredients, we will have margarine. You can also use butter. In this case, I'm actually using a vanilla flavored margarine, which will also give flavor to the cake. I'll have 110 grams, 3 bananas, approximately medium-sized bananas that are ripe. The very ripe ones are the best for this recipe. And then we also have 2 eggs. I'll start by measuring the margarine. And like I said, when you have a weighing scale, you actually get the measurement right. So that's 110 grams, and what we need to do for this one is melt it because we want it melted, and by just either putting it in a microwave or you put it in a pan, let it melt, and then we want it in a liquid form. It's always good to do this, to sift your flour. Cocoa powder usually has small lumps. When you sieve it, it will actually eliminate the lumps. So for the baking powder, we need 1 teaspoon bicarbonate, quarter teaspoon. The sugar we'll add it later because usually sugar doesn't have lumps. So these are the lumps that I was talking about. So whenever you do this, and you see most of them are from the cocoa, so it actually helps eliminate these lumps. And then to this I'll add the sugar. Now we have all the dry ingredients in one bowl. And now for the wet ingredients, I'll start with the bananas. Remember we said they're really ripe ones. I think if you add too much of the banana, it will be too much. So try to stick to 3 medium ones. And then what you do is using a fork, just mash them. And the idea here is also to try and reduce the amount of lumps. You don't want it to be too lumpy. Try and break them with a fork, and the fork is the best one because it will also not break it into a fine mash. You still want small bits of chunky bananas, so this should be enough. And then to this, I'll add the egg, 2 eggs, and the melted margarine. Again, note if it's too hot, just wait for it to get cold, because also when it's too hot, what will happen if you mix it, it will cook the eggs. So this forms the wet ingredients. So there you have it. So this wet ingredients is what we'll add to the dry. So the mixture should be mixed until all the flour, as you can see, the flour is slowly disappearing, until all the flour is completely mixed through. And then you simply now place the mixture into a baking tin. I'm using a rectangular tin. You can also use a round one, but what you just need to note is that you need to put it in a baking paper on the bottom. So at this stage, what you try and do is just level the mixture, make sure that it touches all the sides. now we place our chocolate banana bread into the oven. It takes about 7 to 8 minutes, depending on your oven. So the cake is ready, the banana loaf is ready. You actually cut it when it's already cooled down. And using a bread knife, that's how it will look. You can see the banana inside here. It has a nice chocolatey smell. So I hope you've learned something today. That has been today's recipe. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you are notified whenever I have a new recipe out. Follow me also on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter for more recipes and tips. And until next time, goodbye.